Hare Krishna. There were some questions posted to me around Srila Prabhupada's purport from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Verse 11. Let me recite the sloka first to invoke the auspiciousness and the blessings of our Guru Parampara. Harer Gunakshipta Matir Bhagavan Badarayanihi Adyaghan Mahat Akyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sukadeva Goswami, son of Srila Vyasadeva, was not only transcendently powerful, he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Thus, he underwent the study of this great narration, within brackets Srimad Bhagavatam. For the sake of time, I will skip reading the purport. For those who are interested, again please refer to 1st Canto, 7th chapter, 11th verse. Here Prabhupada mentions that Srila Sukadeva Goswami was an impersonalist. Later he became personalist by the association of his father Srila Vyasadeva. There are two questions based on this purport. Question 1. How can a liberated, that is self-realized soul, even in the womb of his mother, can be an impersonalist? Question number 2. We have heard that Sukadeva in his previous life was a parrot, and that parrot, as a parrot, he heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva directly. Then how is it that he can be an impersonalist? Very thoughtful, nice questions and important questions to properly understand what Prabhupada is trying to say in his purport. Before we get to the details, let's get to the basics. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad Ramayana or Mahabharata, these scriptures are all like Chintamani, a touchstone or a stone that fulfills one's desires. Just for the sake of understanding how this touchstone works, assume Chintamani, a touchstone, is given to a street boy. These street boys will value it to be an ordinary stone to play on the streets. If we give the stone to a dry fruit shopkeeper, he will use the stone to break the nuts. If we give this stone to a laundryman, he will use this stone for washing the cloth. If we give the stone to a goldsmith, he will make a nice ornament out of it and make thousands of dollars. Similarly, this Chintamani, this touchstone, which is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Srimad Bhagavatam and other great literatures, gives value according to the individual consciousness and needs. For some, the scriptures are just holy books. By reading or hearing, they get material benefits. For some, Srimad Bhagavatam is a means by which one can attain higher planets. For some, Srimad Bhagavatam is a means to attain an impersonal Brahman. And for some, it is the mean to attain the personal Supreme Lord. So it is not just hearing or studying the scripture, but it is important in what consciousness we are hearing to these scriptures. From this, now let's circle back, understand that Srila Sukadeva was only self-realized. He was not Paramatma realized before. Those who are only self-realized are called Jnanis, but those who are Paramatma realized, they are called Bhaktas. Sukadeva Goswami's interest and understanding was based on Brahman realization before he took birth as son of Vyasadeva. It is only after he became the son of Vyasadeva, by the association of Vyasadeva, he became a devotee, a bhakta. That too, That did not take place immediately when he entered in the womb of his mother or after he came out of his mother's womb. As soon as he came out of his mother's womb, he walked out into the forest. That is something most of the impersonalists are interested in, to go to the forest. But then the disciples of Vyasadeva, they were wandering in the forest and they were reciting one particular verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that they learnt from their guru Srila Vyasadeva. Barghapitam natavaravapuhu karnayo karnikaram bibradvasam kanakakapisham vaijayanti chamalam randran venur adarasudhaya purayan gopavrindir vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirtihi. It's a beautiful sloka in the 10th canto, 21st chapter, 5th sloka. It says, wearing a peacock feather ornaments on his head, blue karnika flower on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vaijayanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dances as he entered the forest of Vrindavana, beautifying it with the marks of his footsteps, marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glories. Very beautiful stotra, very beautiful sloka. I just can't sing it one more time. Barghapitam natavaravapuhu karnayo karnikaram bibradvasam kanakakapisham vaijayanti chamalam randran venur adarasudhaya purayan gopavrinde vrindaranyam swapataramanam pravishad gita kirtihi. When Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who was wandering in the forest, heard this sloka, he got immediately attracted. He came to them who were singing this sloka and asked them, "Who taught you this one? Please explain more about this sloka. Explain more about this person whom you are singing about." Then they all directed Sukadeva Goswami to Srila Vyasadeva. And he came back to Srila Vyasadeva and learnt Srimad Bhagavatam, entire Srimad Bhagavatam from him submissively. The hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, this time from Srila Vyasadeva, had a different impact than when Srila Sukadeva Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam in previous life in the form of a parrot from Lord Shiva. That we'll know why in the next question. So before we get to the second question, one more time, the first question is, how can a liberated self-realized soul, even in the womb of his mother, can be an impersonalist? The summary gist of what has been told now is, the liberated souls are of two categories. One are self-realized, another one are Paramatma realized. Sukadeva Goswami falls into the first category. He was self-realized only, but not supreme realized, Paramatma realized. He realized Atma, Jivatma, his Atma, but not the Paramatma within him. As we know, those who are not God realized, but only Brahman realized, will come down into this world and take different bodies and different responsibilities until they perfect themselves to be Paramatma realized and develop bhakti and go back to Krishna. That's the answer for first question. Now moving on to the second question. The question is, we have heard that Sukadeva in his previous life was a parrot, and he heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva directly. Then how is it he be an impersonalist? By hearing, he should have become a personalist, a devotee. But he seemed to be impersonalist from what we read from the purport. This is another beautiful question. Yes, by hearing from the greatest Vaishnava, especially like Lord Shiva, Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu, the parrot must have become a personalist, become a great devotee in that very life, and should have gone back to Godhead. But that did not take place. Why? Because there are some important lessons that we need to learn from this particular episode. Very important. We have to connect to Bhagavad Gita 4.34. What does Krishna says? Tad vidhi pranibhatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. This sloka very clearly tells how to cultivate knowledge, how to understand and realize the absolute truth through that received imparted knowledge. This all happens only through the grace of a guru. It is clear here how one should get knowledge. It is only through a bona fide spiritual master. It doesn't say you can cultivate knowledge and be realized soul, Paramatma realized soul, by studying books, by doing some internet searches, or going to anyone and everyone, or even by cheating, fooling a guru. Karna did not disclose who he was to Parasurama, but he learned the art from Parasurama. But Parasurama, when he came to know, he became very upset. He even cursed Karna. Likewise, Ekalavya, he also learned the art from Dronacharya, but not directly, by having the form of a Dronacharya. None of these are bona fide approach. One has to approach the Guru submissively, render service submissively, and inquire submissively. None of these were performed by the parrot to Lord Shiva. Rather, the parrot sneaked in, hid himself, and without any blessings or permission of Guru, that is Lord Shiva, or Guru's Patni, that is Mother Parvati, he tried to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. He was trying to learn Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a problem by itself. Any knowledge, any projects, any services that we take up, we do, without the blessings of a Guru or a Vaishnava, will not be successful. Though it may appear to be successful for a short period of time, but in long run it may not give the right result. Therefore, when we take up any services, we have to take the blessings of Vaishnavas. We have to take the blessings of Guru. One cannot simply do things whimsically on their own. One must be submissive to their authority and get the blessings before doing anything. That's the answer for the second question. So the parrot remained impersonalist because he didn't have the blessings of Lord Shiva or Mother Parvati. That completes the answer for the two questions. Now I would like to add one more question which was not asked. The question: this parrot, that is Sukadeva Goswami in his previous life, was very dear to Srimati Radharani. Then how come it did not get liberated, or how could it be impersonalist? So being the close associate of Srimati Radharani, the parrot shouldn't have taken another birth. The parrot could not be an impersonalist. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. It did not go back to Godhead. It was not a personalist. How was that? Was Mother Radharani not as merciful as she was to the jackal whom she saved? Well, Srimati Radharani is mother for all, not just for devotees. Whether a person is devotee or non-devotee, whether a person is a human or an animal or a bird, whatever it may be, she is the universal mother. The mother compassion cannot be compared to anyone else. But as a mother, when they have multiple children, her attention, love and care to the handicapped children will be more compared to those who are healthier. Here the handicapped children is none other than those who are going in the wrong direction, those who do not believe in God, those who are impersonalists, those who are naughty in behavior. These are all the disease of the living entities. As a mother, she cares for these diseased children. So the question is, how did she care and show compassion to this parrot? We should know that it was her association and blessings that the parrot was given the chance to get the shelter of the great Vaishnava, Srila Vyasadeva. She made sure that the parrot gets the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. That is her blessings and mercy upon this parrot. Well, you may ask a question, why can't Radharani make the parrot personalist? The philosophy is clear. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru. By the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. And that's exactly what happened here. By the mercy of Radharani, the parrot got a spiritual master. And by the mercy of that spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami became a great devotee, a bhakta, and got the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. I hope and pray my attempt to answer these questions from what I learned from the Acharyas satisfies the inquiry. Thank you. Hare Krishna.